Hello, welcome. My name is Lori Putnam, and I am your guest host for the next few days. Eric is in Switzerland. He would rather be here, I'm sure. But today I have a wonderful friend that I know from Taos, New Mexico. His name is Chris Morel. Chris, welcome. And what are you going to teach us today?
Hi, Lori. Hi, everybody. I am going to do a kind of typical New Mexico fall scene with an adobe structure, some of the flowering 𝗙𝗵𝗂, which is really beautiful this time of year. And I'm going to try, I think it's always a Herculean task to get this done, but I'm going to try to get most of the major shapes and colors in
That
place.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, on this 9x12. And then I'm going to take at the very end, I'm going to show how, if I like a piece that's, that I've done a study and I want to take it up to a larger size, I'm going to show you the techniques, very simple, that I use that everybody could get very easily to go ahead and transfer that and then start that bigger painting with the same quality of design that I was happy with on the smaller one. So
Oh,
that's my,
that sounds great, especially with winter coming and people wanting to take some of their things and make them larger. That sounds great. Okay, so let me get the show started and we'll be right back to you, okay?
okay.
It's Art School Live with Eric Rhodes. Now, here's your host, Eric Rhodes.
Well, as you can see, I'm not Eric Rhodes. My name is Lori Putnam, and I'm going to be your guest host. But today, we've got Chris Morel on here, and he's going to show us how to paint the colors of New Mexico in fall. So, Chris, take it away.
Okay, Laurie, I'm going to flip the screen. How's that look?
Looks great.
Excellent. Okay, I've got just a little linen board that I've toned just for kicks, just to knock the white back. And I am going to, first of all, here's kind of a black and white of the scene that I took. I wanted to check the values. So I took a picture and then, printed it out in black and white so I could get an idea of how the values are. But the reason I like this is because of the value jumps, the real dark kind of backlit building as they juxtaposed against the bright colors, the fall 𝗙𝗵𝗂s, the yellows. So let's get started.
Okay. All right. So, do you always tone the background, or is this just for our benefit today?
It is so random with me, and I like it, but sometimes I'm just not as prepared as you want to be. So, you take what you have. So I'm going to start though with just darks and getting these in because darks are so important in establishing the direction of your painting and the composition. And so let's do that.
So, do you start then with your darkest darks, or just somewhere in the darks?
Well, in this case, we're kind of somewhere, but our darkest dark in this, and that's actually a really good reference there. If you have your parameters, your darkest dark and your lightest light, and everything must kind of fall between those goalposts, then that's a very good guide for people. So you don't get out of whack with your values.
Well, especially, we're looking at this reference, which of course is a photograph, which is, do you find that the photograph turns the darks darker than like you actually see them out there in real life, or do you
Yes.
have to adjust for that?
Darker and lifeless. So yeah. You gotta kind of know where it was, what it was like when you took the shot.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm doing this. I've really been impressed with the iPhone use. I haven't used my Nikon in years since I got an iPhone with those nice cameras, but they're still very limited.
Yeah.
Their averaging ability is pretty good, but when you have real strong contrast like we do here, anywhere on a sunny day, but especially in the West, um, you know, you really do have to be outside to understand uh,
Hmm.
what's going on, and then take that knowledge back inside when you're creating. All right. So let's see here.
So does it bother you if I ask questions while you talk? Would you rather just me
Oh,
shut up and let you go?
I want you to. I like talking to you.
Yeah, we don't get to see each other often.
No, it's been a long time. I've got a son that lives in Knoxville, and one of these days I'm going to stop in. You're in Franklin, is that right?
I'm outside of Nashville, but a little bit different direction than Franklin. But yeah, it's about an hour outside of Nashville. Well, and I have a son in Santa Fe, so I go out there and I don't ever get to see you because I have grandchildren, and they're more important than seeing you. Sorry.
That's true. That's true. I've
But
got,
one of these days, one of these days.
well, last time I went through Nashville to get to my son, I stopped at the Gruen guitar shop. You know
Oh
that,
yeah. Yeah, you are a musician.
and I got to sit there and play with George Gruen, the legendary. I went up into his private room, and it was the best. I just had the great, and he was such a great guy. So
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
Nashville trip was just fantastic. Okay, let's start putting some contrast around here. Just for
Yeah,
kick.
well, next time you're in town, and my husband plays guitar, so you have to come out to the studio and
I'd love it. I'd,
yeah. So just double checking, you are working in oil today, right?
I am working in oil, absolutely.
Now I know you used to be an illustrator. Do you still do anything like as watercolor or anything, or do you only use oil?
No, I do watercolor. It's kind of funny. I had the Taos Watercolor Society had asked if yesterday if they could come up and if I could critique their work, and it made me, I've got a few watercolors around here, but it made me realize after seeing their work how much I love that medium. I started with watercolor
Yeah.
after I quit as an illustrator and started. That was it. I would
Yeah.
consider myself a watercolor painter. Now that, whoops, that one took off. To call myself a watercolorist was, I think it was a little more than I deserved at the time, but that's an incredibly technical and beautiful medium, and I have so much respect for all these guys. When I see Daniel Marshall's work and things like that, I'm just totally impressed. But
Oh yeah.
I can do some decent ones if I keep my eye on the ball.
So let me ask you a question about what you're doing here. So
Yeah.
now you've got the light part in, but you still don't have the shadows underneath it. What did you call those things?
Oh, they're
Those
called chamisa.
chamisa.
Chamisa, or some people call them rabbit brush.
Okay. So you'll
And
come back then with the shadows.
I will come back in and lay those darks in. I think since I've got yellow on the brush, I think I'll just use it up here.
And what yellows are you using? Can you tell us?
I've got cad yellow medium and cad yellow light. Uh, yeah, light. It's not lemon, and I use Naples as well. I like Naples yellow quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So see if I can't mix a green here. I think I remember. Ooh, that's pretty bold. We're going to kill that one. Let's kill that one.
So have you had any snow out there yet?
We've got a little snow on the high peaks.
Oh my goodness.
And we're only moments away from it out here. And it's usually we get our first snow on the ground in Taos every year, right around Halloween. And
Oh, I see.
yeah. And so, but the high country gets it early, just like, we're just below Colorado. So all of that country
Mm-hmm.
comes to life with beautiful snowy tops. It's just gorgeous. It's really nice this time of year if you have the aspens that are just almost done turning here.
Wow. Wow.
And then fresh snow up high, which is really fantastic. And
Wow.
that's the trifecta.
Yeah.
Bright
Yeah,
sunshine, big, beautiful aspens, and snow on top. That's the way.
well, I could be there just quickly, a few
Hop on.
hours.
Go down. You're not far from the airport, Laurie. Come on.
Oh, about an hour, about an hour.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, the last time I was out there, when I saw, when I was out there painting with, brought a group out there and we painted and saw you and went over to Walt's place and
Yeah.
that was so much fun. But that was in March and it was really cold.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. I remember having my friend Larry Moore.
Yes.
I have not seen him since.
Love him. Love him.
Him. And I've watched his work since spending time with him, and he's done just the most incredible, out of the box, really groovy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he's a crazy madman. Love it.
And he's just the technical ability is so fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's the whole package. All right, I'm just banging things in, as you can see, trying to get some activity going here with all the fun colors that I want to see in here.
I love those colors. I love color.
I know you do, Lori.
I just love those colors.
Wonderful painter, by the way.
Oh, well, thanks. That's kind of you. That's kind of you. So when did you first get the plein air bug? How long have you been doing plein air stuff?
Well, when I lived in Austin, for instance, after I left my illustrator job, I was with the Texas Parks and Wildlife down there department, and I painted a little outside, not much, just because I had done that back in art school in college, where I'd go out and paint watercolors on location, but I really didn't do a lot of it until I got to Taos, and Taos was just, everything about it was just perfect for that. The weather, the countryside, the clarity of the light.
Yeah.
It was just phenomenal. So Taos was, and that would have been way back in '94 when I first moved to Taos. And so it's been a long time. But you just want to be outside here. It's just, the weather is wonderful. There's so many things to paint. There's not a lot of people. It's just perfect,
Yeah. Yeah. Especially no people. I don't really like people. So, do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions about what you're doing?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that is why we're here, not just to chat about how much we admire each other. So So you talked about what yellows you have. Are there any other, colors that you think are specific, like for using out in that area that you'd like to share? What that you have on your palette, or what mediums do you use? Things like that.
I don't use any mediums except a little thinner to clean my brush in
Hmm.
between changing colors. Because a lot of times I won't change a brush when I'm really rolling. And so I'll just dip it in thinner and wipe out
Hmm.
the excess. And then, you're still going to have some left over.
Yeah.
And so my colors are, it's kind of an expanded, um, what do you call it? Split primary kind of
Okay.
thing with colors. So I'm going to have a lemon yellow or a cad yellow light and this cad yellow medium. I'll have an alizarin crimson and an orange for my reds. And, with those two, I tend to be able to uh, achieve what I'm looking for,
Hmm.
with my red spectrum. And then for the blues, I have ultramarine and cobalt. And, but I also have this, today I'm playing with this tube that I found that's basically a kind of a phthalo, but it's just called cyan. And I don't know where I got it, but
It's,
I like it. I found it in my tray full of toys, and
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I like it. I figure we'll try it out,
Yeah.
play with it.
I like to do that too sometimes.
So take a chance, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Pick,
Especially,
pick
when you're live on Facebook. I mean,
when you're live on
who
Facebook.
really cares?
Do something
So,
informative.
is your paint, like, how thick is your paint? It doesn't look very thick at this point. Is that just the solvent that you're thinning it out with?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it goes on pretty thin and pretty thin and manageable
Hmm. Hmm.
for my purposes, and that's the best way for me
Yeah.
to to control it. Yeah. All right. So I'm just kind of getting the drawing in here, and I'm
Okay.
hoping that our time is working well.
Yeah, you've still got it. You still got a bit. You still got a bit. You're doing great.
Excellent. Now we have a strong light source coming over from this right hand side of this piece, and so we're going to hit that right in here. I really like, there's a real thin line of very bright light that's going to hit that roof. And in this case, I'm going to try to use this mall stick that my buddy made for me. He did it when he was using my studio when I was gone, and I came back and I had this nice new toy.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Look, it's just a stick with a screw in it. How easy is that? I would have sat around here for the rest of my life and never thought, oh, I got a mall stick. That's, what am I going to use? Maybe when I
Yeah.
get old and I need a cane, I'll use that. Who knows?
Yeah, I have a friend, 𝗙𝗵𝗁𝗶𝗃, and she gave me, actually a little back scratcher from Glacier National Park. It's got like a bear claw,
I love
and
those.
yeah, it's so fun. It's my mall stick. It's this bear claw
Yeah,
thing. Oh my goodness.
when you're not scratching that back, huh? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to do that at the same time. It gets paint all over your back.
that's right. That's right.
Um,
All right. So
so
let's have some fun here. I'm going to throw a shadow in on this tree side. Uh, this part of the roof, we're going to start to be able to really render and resolve some of these areas and create the contrasts that are going to make it look like the scene. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot, most of those light areas are very similar in value right now. So this is going to separate that, kind of
Yeah,
do the
right.
pushing, pulling thing, right?
Right. We're going to be able to kind of frame them out with some contrasts.
That's so interesting to see you put those darks in over the light. That's really, so is that paint thicker than what's under it, or?
No, not so much. I don't see any. Now, where's my reference?
Oh, just make something up.
I forgot my original reference. I don't know where it is. I'm looking at a study that I did. So we're going to do a study from a study to make another study. So
You're doing great.
thank you. All right.
Everybody's really interested in those yellows and how you're gonna
Yeah.
work with those, because
Well, we're gonna hope that everything kind of supports those yellow tops here when I go over there.
yeah,
We're gonna,
yeah,
yeah. This is for all of you guys who have done these demos, and I've done one or two for Eric. They're always a little scary because
yeah,
I just did a workshop out here, and I do a lot of demos because I think the demos, and they're quick ones, they're 20 minutes,
yeah, yeah,
because a lot of people want to just, why do you do this? What, get inside your thought process, and I think that's
yeah,
really helpful. But there are some that can go wrong, and usually what I do is I'll say, well, I just wanted to get you guys going here. Why don't
yeah,
you? And I kind of run from my
yeah,
from my from my mistakes, but
yeah,
typically they're fun, but they can be a disaster. I've done that
yeah.
before. All
Yeah,
right.
that's the thing people don't get, is that, you're just trying to get the lesson out there, and then all of a sudden you go, "Oh, this doesn't look at all like I wanted it to look." Anyway. So you're through with your workshops for this year, but you've got some workshops coming up next year, I bet.
Yes, I do. I've got one in the Plein Air Painters of America have their annual show, which is going to be in Mount Carmel at the Maynard Dixon studio out there.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, I love that place.
So you've been there. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
uh-huh.
So we're going to be out there, and I'm going to be teaching with, I think, Kathleen Dunphy and Michael Obermeyer, if I'm not mistaken. And there's four of us. I think Kyle Ma is going to be painting. And so we're going to be doing a workshop out there in May. I don't have the exact dates, but
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great.
and then I'll do one in the Berkshires, Stockbridge, Massachusetts, with the Berkshire Guild of Berkshire Artists.
That's in June, right? And then back to your fall workshops in September there in Taos?
Back to the one we just finished, and that's always that is my favorite because it's in my own backyard, and so I drag these poor folks into these crazy locations, and all over High Road, New Mexico, these little
Uh,
villages and just beautiful spots. We can paint the Rio Grande Gorge. We can, there's so many great things out here to paint. So, and I kind of know the territory. So
I bet you do. I bet you do.
I'm a pretty good guide. You know how it is, Lori, when when you go to another place that's set up a workshop for you. I think the hardest thing is finding locations and communicating to the people that are organizing the show, because their idea and no fault to them, if they're not painters,
Yes.
their idea of a good location is just a place with a bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Which you do have to consider, but sometimes it's like, okay, we're going to paint the front of this mall. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always wanted to paint a Target.
Yeah, that's right. Hair, nails, bait, and
Yeah.
beer. You know,
Yeah.
right out of the way. But
So that's that somebody's commenting on how their words are pastel-y, that green looks.
yeah, it's very muted. It's very it's a very cool light sagey green, and that's the color of the when we get down in here, I'll show you can basically mix this green, a very simple version of it, even though we tend to always adjust our greens, but a basic cobalt blue and a light yellow.
Okay.
And let me get this, and then white. I need to lighten this a little bit, and I'm throwing a tiny bit of violet in it just to kill the intensity.
Okay.
But
And I know you.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just going to say I know you have to be somewhere. Doing these demos is really hard, but occasionally, for the people watching out there, occasionally, he does actually have to put his hand up, and things might get a little blurry on the scene because it wants to focus on his hand. But we're trying our best here, aren't we?
Is there an issue with that?
No, it's just occasionally if your hand gets in front of the phone, it blocks and wants to just sort of, yeah, that's lovely. Love your hand. Lovely. Don't do that. Oh my goodness.
That's fine. Try not to do that. Yeah. So now I'm knocking in just, some local color of that particular variety, and then I can hopefully go back and manipulate it a bit.
Okay, great. Yeah, that is a really very very pale. But I mean, it's people don't get that when they're out there. That if you don't paint in plein air, that it's that, it's not like it looks on the photo at all. That's why we do this.
Yes, that's right. You got to get out there. Got to get out there and see that color. Mix that color.
Yeah.
Feel that breeze. Have fun. Bring your lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. We have somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. I'm just letting you know that.
Oh, thank you.
But you're doing great.
Good. Yeah, we can still do some damage here.
Don't suck the life out of it, man.
I still have time. I got time to kill this thing. Trust me. I got time. Now, when I'm on location, when I'm teaching, I'm doing that split primary kind of palette.
Okay.
And I've been doing that for a couple of years now. It doesn't have to last forever. I don't know. But and then on the third day, this sounds biblical. On the third day, you can then pull out your phthalo blue if you want. Just don't let it get ahead of you. Out of control. And you let people go ahead and then open up their palette a little bit. But it's very important for people to understand how to arrive at color.
This is beautiful color. I love what you've got here.
Thank you. See, it's really important for people to arrive at color from a limited palette, and so they learn so much about how to manipulate that color, how to warm it up, how to cool it down, how to mix warm and cool versions of. Oh, there's my reference. I'll just put it on this screen over here that you can't see. Um, but it's a really good education to simplify the color mixing process versus having, of course, just a whole bunch of colors that people don't really understand. And
Right.
so
Right.
I don't know, isn't that the way you approach it, or do you do something different?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the way I was trained was actually it was three colors and white. My friend Don
Mhm.
Whitelaw, who's going to be with us on Friday, taught me that. And
Ooh,
I
that's
used
gonna be
that for a very, very long time, not just in plein air for being light, but also in the studio. And I think the thing is, when you do add something crazy to make sure you know how to use it, not just
Mhm.
add it and go, "Oh, I'm gonna put that in right out of the tube. That's cool."
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you don't understand why it is a warm yellow or a cool yellow.
right.
So or a cool green rather, cool green, cool blue, whatever it is that you're trying to, to have somebody take a blue and a yellow and start with that basic color and then learn how to manipulate that is
Yeah.
such, is such a jump for their understanding
Mhm.
of achieving
So
the.
so when you put that, I know I keep going back to this, but it's just fascinating to me that you put in that yellow so early. Is that not just for the getting that value right, but also something to do with how you can key all those other colors against it then, the neutrals against it, or
I think, yeah, it's also just the way I I think I think everybody paints a certain way that pleases them. And I'm so excited about the yellow in the picture that I just want to get it in. I want to get it on that canvas and look at it. And I kind of, the thought process is kind of like a watercolorist,
Mm,
is get that yellow in. And then, if I were doing a watercolor, I'd put that yellow in and have that probably bleed into all the areas that were going to eventually have shadow colors because I know I could just load darker colors on top of that.
that's just so fabulous.
Yeah, I mean it's just a personal way of doing it. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know if John Singer Sargent would say do it that way.
Oh, he's going to be our guest next week while I'm gone.
I was going to say when you get him, I want you to ask him that.
I'll ask him that.
Don't mention my name, Laurie. Don't say I'm the one because I just don't want to know
So
that.
we talked earlier about, you do occasionally still do watercolor. You did it back in your illustration days. Somebody is asking if you ever use gouache,
Oh
or
yeah,
as they say in England, gouache.
I've got some gouache on the walls here that I just did, and maybe if we have a 30 seconds later, I can swing the camera around and show those to you.
Sure, sure.
So now, given more time, and we're not going to have enough time, but these plants, of course, have, we've got a light side and a dark side. So you if you're painting them, the flowers have this beautiful darker yellow, on their shadow side. And so
Hmm.
really start to render, the volume and form of these shapes by paying attention to that kind of thing. So, but
It's a
we're not
beautiful
going to get it.
color.
But what I'll do for you guys today is, since I kind of prepared for this, which is, I'm so proud of myself for being prepared for a change.
We are too.
Yeah, thank you. But I did a preliminary study that I really liked, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to redo the basic theme motif. And so when we get close to the end, I'm going to show you a little more comprehensive. Oops, it's a little bit too much. A little more comprehensive kind of rendering of this scene.
Ooh, that was pretty. Sorry.
That's blue.
Got a little carried away there, didn't
Yeah, I sure did.
I? Love it.
I'm trying to get this. I love it when the mountains go into shadow, um, when there's cloud activity, and
Yes, yes.
they
Me
just
too.
become a shape rather than all these undulating different colors and values.
Yes.
That and just that shock of blue is just so beautiful against the other colors. All
Yeah.
right. We have this time of year, we have those asters. And the asters are these purpley blue, violety, purple blue flowers that grow wild. They're like purple daisies, kind of.
Hmm.
And they make for a really, really nice accent in these fall scenes. And they are there.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how beautiful that is juxtaposed against this.
Yeah.
Basically, kind of a compliment to that. And don't get carried away like I want to. I want to put them everywhere.
Just dab it to death. You've got 10 more minutes. Sorry.
True. No. I'm telling one of my students the other day, it was like, we have, as humans, we have, or at least we try to have a semblance of order and arrangement in our daily lives and just about everything we do. And so I catch myself often, I'm outside painting and I paint. I render a spruce tree and I render it. It looks pretty good. I do that. And then I go to the next tree and guess what? I'm doing the same tree. I have to catch myself and say, everything, variety.
Hmm.
So stop yourself.
Yeah, there's so much to think about, and if when people are really good painters like you just make it look easy. But my guess is that you're actually having to think while you're talking, which is kudos to you.
Yes. I'm trying to think. Communicate here, but anyway. But I appreciate everybody, those who have joined us. Um,
Everybody thinks it's looking great. They're loving it.
well, that's great.
It's not a single person who has said, "Ooh, I wouldn't have done that."
Oh yeah, block them. Okay.
Uh,
We're gonna block. All right. All right. So now at this point, I would probably want to really start to, and this is something we won't have enough time to do, but I'd really want to start to develop these shadow areas so we can communicate the volume and shape of these 𝗖𝗵𝗁𝗁 or the 𝗖𝗵𝗁𝗁 or rabbit brush. You pick your term; they both mean the same thing. And it's just so typical, sage plant out west that we have, and it just took me a long time to understand how to paint these, and I'm still learning. And I've been out here 32 years, so don't give up.
Don't give up. Yeah, oh, good. I've stuck. There's still hope for me. Yay.
Give up. Don't give up. I know it.
Oh my goodness.
Lori, what are you doing next? What's happening for you?
Oh, let's see. I'll be out in Catalina for the Wild Side show, Catalina Island show, in a couple of weeks. And
That's
you go out and you paint in plein air in the spring or throughout the summer, and then you make some studio pieces and come back and have the show. So some of it's plein air and some of it's studio, which I think is a great way to do. So you're actually learning things while you're out there and not just, feel like you got to produce. So it's going to be great.
yeah.
Some of your plein air painters of America buddies will be there. They got to paint out there with some of them this spring, and
Yeah. Who'd you play?
yeah. Oh, we'll see. Was out there with 𝗄𝗶𝘁𝗵 and
She's our new member.
Yeah, I heard that. That's great. And Mike Hernandez, who I just love Mike. He's fabulous. And some wonderful folks like that. But so yeah, I'll get to see them all again at the show. That's coming
That's
next.
that's going to be fantastic. You're going to be on the island at the casino or whatever.
The show is actually in Newport Beach, but
Oh,
Mark has never been to, my husband has never been to the island, so I'm going to go over and take him a couple of days before the show. Yeah,
good deal.
yeah.
Well, I hope that's
Uh,
a really successful show for you.
Thank you. It's a great thing to get invited to do that. I love doing that.
Yeah, awesome.
So, just to let you know, you've got maybe 5 to 7 minutes left
Okay,
here
five to seven.
before we'll start thinking about wrapping this up, okay?
So we've got 5 to 7, and then we still have a few minutes to show that.
Well, actually, we probably need to work all of that in there at the same time. So
Right. So let
maybe
me.
2 or 3 more minutes here, and then do your other thing you wanted to show us.
Perfect. There are these little upright, stocky things. And I don't know what they're called, but we're going to call them stocky things.
That's the technical term.
Yes.
Only professionals.
Yeah, that's what the herbologists call it.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
The heart.
yes.
So there's your stocky thing, and this stocky thing should have a little dark side, shouldn't it? And we really don't want to have to do that, but I'm going to try.
But that nice edge there, it brings it forward off of that broken down, that's a good thing.
Yes. Okay. All right. Let me just put a little color down here just to say it's finished over there.
Awesome. Yeah. Oh, that's what we do.
So anyway, what I'll say about this is that one of the reasons I picked this was definitely the contrast. And I just love the contrast in this piece. I love this dark shape against all of this pretty background.
Yeah.
And so now what we have is a partially finished study. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Like I said, I had prepared, and the
Want to
other
show
day,
us this other cool thing. Yay.
I painted this same scene, and
Wow. Wow.
I thought, well, the first thing I thought was, I like it. I like the way it turned out. Then I thought, okay, this is a candidate for a bigger piece. And so what I wanted to show people, very simple. Most of you painters know this method, but for those that don't, it's very simple. I like the composition. I like where everything fits. And that's the important thing for me. So then I took the iPhone camera and I took a picture of it and ran it out on my color copier. And then I took it and just did a simple grid. This is the 9 by 12, so I broke it into 3 by 4 ratio, and just took a Sharpie and broke that down into that grid. So then we're going to have to, let's see, we're going to go over here. And this is a 3648 canvas. And so if you can see the grid, Lori, can you see it?
Yeah, that looks great. We can tell. Yeah.
And so I'm not going to do a lot more. Because I like to have fun. I just want to have the basic curve of the shapes and so forth.
Yeah.
And so that's basically the simplest way for me to explain how if I like the composition on that paint on the small study, to get that to up to a
Yeah.
finished piece. Somebody was asking about a gouache. This was a recent gouache,
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
water-based, and there was another one over here that I did. This was from up around Crested Butte, And so these were gouache. I like gouache because I can get a little opaque with it.
Yeah, right. Well, so do you use it somewhat like your oils then?
Yeah, I kind of load a little bit more color in there than normally with transparent.
Oh, can we see your palette? Can you point that back down to your palette really quickly?
You bet.
Just so we can see what fun things you've done down there.
Yes, we sure can. All right, so I've got kind of a broad palette here, but basically what I worked with were these
Okay,
yellow.
right now we have your hand. We want to see your palette. Your hand is very lovely. There we go. Thank you. Good. There you go.
There we
That's
go.
better. Thank
So
you.
those are the yellows. Let me get a brush that's not so handy. And here's that's Naples. Here's a couple. I like a lot of yellows. This is a medium cad. Got my orange. The colors I used today were basically these two yellows, these two blues over here, and I have a violet that I used a little bit, and I think that was about it.
Okay, great.
I think I used the transparent red iron oxide. So
Wow, that's just fabulous, Chris. It's so beautiful. And so people can go over to your website and see more of your work, right?
they can, and let me apologize in advance. I have not updated that in a while, but I will soon. I promise.
Yeah, we have to do it all, don't we? We have to do it all.
I've got a lady that'll do it for me. It's just me getting the information to her. And so I'm going to turn around so you can, let's see. Here I am.
Hi, you.
Hi. Anyway, so I hope that helped some people out. And I really enjoyed doing this with you, Lori. It was great.
Yeah, you too, Chris. Good to see you. So good to see you. And so, yeah, so they can also find you on Instagram at Chris Morel Art, correct?
That's right. Another thing I'll update soon. Yeah. So I'd love for you, and then come to Taos.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out there, and I'm just gonna not tell the family I'm in town for a couple of days. I'm gonna come paint with you and Kevin, and go out and visit with Walt again. And yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Can
That'll
I
be a lot of fun.
can I mention my wonderful galleries, or is that something?
Sure. No, go for it. You've got a minute or two.
Excellent. So if you get to Santa Fe, the 𝗙𝗵𝗊𝗁 Gallery is just the most wonderful gallery.
Fabulous.
And they are the greatest. They are the greatest team. I've been with them for 15 years, and just top shelf all the way. Plus the work in there, it's amazing. You're going to see, along with somewhat partially living painters like myself, you're going to see Nikolai Fetchins and Joseph Henry Sharps and Wilson Hurleys and Burning Houses and Blumenshines and all the great Taos painters, Santa Fe painters as well.
That's great.
And then I'm with the 𝗖𝗵𝗿𝗶𝘁 Trading Company in Taos, which is another great gallery. And then the Sean Horn Gallery in Crested Butte, Colorado. Sean's a great guy.
Yeah, he is a great guy.
Runs a good ship up there. So
yeah. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so very much, and I think everybody enjoyed that, and I know I did, and I just loved catching up with you anyway. So I really appreciate you doing this with me today, Chris. Wonderful. So now I hope you all enjoyed today's demonstration, and I actually have a free gift for you. Download the free ebook, 201 Essential Plein Air Painting Tips. Go to pleinairmagazine.com/ebook. And if you haven't signed up yet for Plein Air Live, don't wait. It's November 6th through 8th with Essentials Techniques Day on the 5th. That's 3 days to fast track your journey to outdoor painting. So sign up at plein-airlive.com and let's watch a short video about that.
Every artist knows the frustration. You want to grow, to break through, to see your paintings come alive. But too often you're painting alone, stuck in the same routines, not knowing what's missing. Photos lie, books only go so far, and it can feel like the true secrets of painting are locked away. But what if, in just 3 days, you could watch the world's top plein air and landscape painters, brush in hand, showing you every step of their process? What if you could ask your questions and learn the techniques it took them decades to master without ever leaving home? This November, join us for Plein Air Live, the world's largest online painting conference. You'll learn from legends like 𝗄𝗶𝘁𝗵, Cindy Barron, Kathleen Hudson, 𝗄𝗵𝗿𝗁, Bill Davidson, Mike Hernandez, and dozens more hand-picked masters. Across 3 days, plus an optional Essential Techniques Day for a guided refresher, you'll watch demonstrations, join interactive breakout rooms, and even paint along in evening sessions with new friends from around the globe. This kind of lineup will never happen again. You could spend tens of thousands traveling to workshops and still never gather this much talent in one place. But at Plein Air Live, it all comes to you. Don't miss your chance to grow, to connect, and to be inspired. Join us at Plein Air Live, November 6th through 8th, 2025.
That's going to be a lot of fun. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel at Art School Live on YouTube and at Eric Rhodes on Instagram. Check out my website, please, 𝗖𝗵𝗿𝗶.com. Follow me on Instagram at 𝗖𝗵𝗿𝗶_art. And of course, my video, Bold Brushstrokes and Confident Color, and my book, 𝗖𝗵𝗿𝗶 So Far, are available at PaintTube TV. And I just appreciate everybody being here. I want you to stay safe, have a beautiful day, and I hope to see you again the rest of the week. Have a good day.